2024 is the year in history that's gonna go down as the election year. After all, from the entire population of the planet, more than 50% of the world will be voting this year. Now, out of those elections, none are more important than the election of the United States of America. After all, the United States is the most powerful country on the planet, and whoever becomes the president will become the most powerful man on the planet. Now, the dispute came between two candidates, Biden and Trump, which also happens to be the two oldest presidents in history. In today's video, we're going to talk about what are the odds of each candidate, what are the problems of each one of them, and most important, how each candidate may affect the crypto space. And for those who are listening to this and saying, what about the alternative candidates, such as Kennedy? And the thing is, historically speaking, the only way to be a president in the United States of America is to be a candidate for the Republican Party or Democratic Party. And yes, Kennedy has a lot of sympathizers, but honestly, I do not think that will count for the election or actually give him a real chance to become president. Now, with that out of the way, let's focus on the challenge of both candidates, beginning with Donald Trump. Donald Trump's main challenge is going to be how he's going to finance his campaign. After all, some billionaires are not willing to sponsor his campaign because they do not want to be associated with Donald Trump. And that's because of his personality and the things that he says, which happens to be very controversial. Some also say that that challenge can be easily overcome because, after all, there is an international interest on having Donald Trump elected. Now, for those Republican billionaires that are sponsoring Donald Trump, they have a doubt as well. Will Donald Trump, the candidate, be different than Donald Trump, the president? Some of them hope that once Donald Trump becomes president, he becomes calmer and less controversial. If you are someone very knowledgeable into cryptocurrencies and are having problems explaining crypto to your grandmother, I have made a crypto basics course which will enable you to explain cryptocurrencies on your grandma's language. Link for that on the description below. When it comes to Joe Biden, he has no problem with his personality. The biggest issue of Biden is, in my view, his cognitive ability, not his age. After all, Donald Trump is only 4 years younger than Joe Biden. And people who are older than Biden have better cognitive ability. For instance, Warren Buffett. Now, even though Donald Trump is only 4 years younger, in my view, there's much greater distance, cognitively speaking, between Biden and Donald Trump. Some Democrats say that Donald Trump is also not cognitive there. However, let's look at some clips of those two, and you be the judge of how far they are cognitively.
The meeting. If you don't have a game plan, he may have a game plan. He just hasn't shared it with me. But I tell you what, I don't know about you, but I'm going to go to bed. We talked about at the conference overall. We talked about stability. We talked about making sure that the third world, the Southern Hemisphere had access to change it, had access. It wasn't confrontational at all. He came with
Thank you, everybody. This ends the press conference. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Are you bringing U.S. strategic interests above human rights here in Vietnam?
I've raised it with every person I've met with.
Mr. President, are you worried about your son?
I'm sorry, guys, but I have to laugh. To me, there's a lot of things wrong with this video. First, Joe Biden does not know that Vietnam is part of the Northern Hemisphere, and he does not even know how to say third world. Also, another thing which is quite incredible to me and laughable is how he allows to be cut off. It's like if somewhere in his brain goes like, okay, I'm behaving as a zombie. It's time for me to stop. Now it's okay for them to cut me off. As a president, to be cut off like that, it can only be a sign of he being aware of his cognitive situation. Now, Donald Trump has made some mistakes. However, in my view, is nothing compared to Joe Biden, but you can be the judge of this yourself.
And Putin, has so little respect for Obama that he's starting to throw around the nuclear word today. You heard that, nuclear. He's starting to talk nuclear weapons today. I was waiting for that to happen, but we have a fool as a president. He said, we will never leave until there is complete and total victory. We might be there for a long time.
Now, if you're enjoying this content and getting value from this video, there's a way in which you can help us continue bringing videos to you guys, and that is liking the video and subscribing to the channel. You may be asking, with all these cognitive issues plus memory issues, why is it the Democrats are still considering Joe Biden as a possible candidate? And the answer is very simple. He is the actual president. It's very difficult to take him out unless he decides to step down. But if he steps down, the public may see him admitting that he has cognitive problems. In my view, if the Democratic Party found another candidate, there will be no chance for Donald Trump to win. To me, those are the two worst possible candidates. The only way for Donald Trump to win is by going against Biden. And in my view, the Democratic Party keeping Biden are only helping the victory of Donald Trump. Now, the Republicans putting Trump to run against Biden is also helping Biden because Biden can only possibly win against Trump. However, 4 years has passed since the last election, and in my view, Donald Trump has the upper hand. Let's look at the advantages that Donald Trump has over Biden in comparison to the last election. One thing Donald Trump definitely has in his favor is the fact that he has fans. 97% of the people who vote for Donald Trump on the last election are saying they will vote for him again. The same cannot be said about Biden. Biden's approval is diminishing. And why is that significant? It is significant because the US has something called the swing states. Also, the way that the election works. There is no equal percentage distribution for the winner. The winner takes it all. For instance, if a state has 15 votes, guess what? Even if the difference is only 0.5%, those 15 votes go to one single candidate. And Biden is losing approval on states that are swing states, which guarantee him a victory on the past election. States such as Michigan. Now, Michigan have a large population of Muslims, and the action that Biden has taken helping Israel is making those Muslims considering to vote for Donald Trump instead of Biden. And it's not just the war. There is also an issue in Michigan, which is the fossil fuels. Remember, Joe Biden is against fossil fuels. Now, Michigan produces a lot of natural gas, and Biden has banned the export of natural gas from the US to Europe. This ban on export of natural gas caused economic problems on the state. After all, they have less money coming in because they're not allowed to export their natural gas. And people are being laid off and having economic challenge. And they're blaming Biden for that situation. And it's not just swing states that are shifting their support from Biden. There's also some other demographics. For instance, the youth vote. People on the age between 18 to 29. On the past election, Biden had 24% of those in support of him. Today, that support has halved to 12%. The same thing for the African American support. It has dropped significantly from 84% to 43%, again, almost half. Hispanic support went from 21% to 6%. Also, suburban support has diminished from 11% to a mere 2%. So Biden is losing a lot of support in comparison to Donald Trump. And that losing support, I think, will affect the election, especially if those support happens to be on swing states. Now let's talk about legal challenges. We couldn't make this video without talking about the legal challenges that both candidates are facing. Yes, Donald Trump has a lot of legal challenges. He has been involved in a lot of court cases and, of course, donations for Stormy Daniels and so many others, and also have been paying very heavy fines. However, Joe Biden is not free from those challenges. There's no involvement of case against Joe Biden yet. However, there's a laptop from his son that actually became a book. The book is Laptop from Hell. And in that laptop, there's been many evidence suggesting that Joe Biden was using his son to pick up cash from criminal activities that Joe Biden has been involved directly.
And he didn't have a job until you became vice president. And once you became vice president, he made a fortune in Ukraine, in China, in Moscow,
That is simply
and various
not
other places.
true.
He
My
made a
son,
fortune.
My son,
And he didn't have a job.
my son, like a lot of people we know at home, had a drug problem. He's overtaken it. He's fixed it. He's worked on it. And I'm proud of him.
Besides being a drug addict, Hunter Biden has other charges against him. Charges for the legal possession of firearms and charges on tax evasion. Now, this is a crypto channel, and you may be asking why I'm talking about those two candidates in the American election. And the reason is very simple. I honestly believe that whoever wins will dictate a different direction for the crypto market. I believe that if Biden gets elected, the crypto space is going to have more challenges in America. If Donald Trump gets elected, I believe the crypto market is going to have a better path. After all, Donald Trump has already admitted that he can live in a world with Bitcoin.
They are against it. Biden doesn't even know what it is. If you ask Biden, sir, are you for or against crypto? What's that? What the? Get me off the stage. I say, get me off the stage. No, he has no idea. But look, Gensler is very much against it. The Democrats are very much against it. And I say this, a lot of people are very much for it, probably a lot of the people in this group. And I'm fine with it. I want to make sure it's good and solid and everything else, but I'm good with it.
And I think this election is beyond cryptocurrencies. I believe it's a dispute between socialism and capitalism. And I believe that if Joe Biden wins, America is going to become more centralized or socialist. The climate agenda is something that Biden is pushing and is controlling how people consume and produce energy. Donald Trump is pro-more capitalist, being in favor of the free market and fossil fuels and not abiding by the climate agenda. Remember, I'm not American, therefore I'm not Republican nor Democrat. So please like the video and subscribe to the channel for more objective, insightful videos about things that may affect the crypto market.